Hello everybody, Steve here with another video. And first I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans and to all of those who served in our armed forces. We certainly appreciate what you have done or what you are continuing to do if you are indeed still in the military. We all owe you a debt of gratitude, and we appreciate you. So with that being said, yesterday I was talking about things as they relate to hate, the prevalence of hate in our society. And today I want to talk about something else, which has a bunch of negative emotions and negative connotations associated with it. One of them being vengeance, and I think along with hatred as well. Now, when I talk to you, I always try to bring to light some spiritual truths that pertain to what I'm talking about, in our culture. I try to correlate things in a way that will hopefully allow you to understand it a little better. And one of the things that I see happening in our culture is just a kind of a lack of empathy, a lack of understanding, a lack of compassion. And there's a sense that, we are the end of all justice. In other words, how we are feeling about a situation or a person or an issue, that we have the higher position on that issue. Therefore, we get to judge someone else or belittle someone else if they have a opinion that is different from ours. So I'm going to play some clips from a woman named Jennifer Rubin, and she is a Washington Post columnist. And we're just going to analyze real quickly some of the things that she's saying. And I want you to pay close attention, because the main reason I want you to pay attention is not so much what she's saying about, the political process that we have just undergone, or perhaps even the last 4 years. What I want to relate that to is how this country and many, many politicians, and I can't lie, especially on the Democratic side, feel about Christianity, feel about the church, feel about our faith. And yeah, they all say, that they believe and that they are, they hold to Christian doctrine, and that they, a person of faith is what they usually use. And however, the things that they say and the causes that they purpose to uphold sometimes are not in line with what we see in the Bible. And the Bible is the Bible is the book that holds to the truth, and it's the book that we go by when we are looking for the truth. So if you deviate from that, then I'm going to believe the Bible rather than believing a human being. But anyway, that's for another video. So let's listen to what Jennifer Rubin is saying here.
Been stolen. What we should be doing is shunning these people. Shunning, shaming these people is a statement of moral indignation that these people are not fit for polite society.
So what she's saying is, and I believe, I don't want to take her out of context, but I believe her reference was those people in the Trump administration, those people who were directly a part of Trump. She's saying that basically they are unfit, and that they and I'm paraphrasing here, that they really don't deserve to be heard, and that they should actually be punished for the positions that they take. And so she's saying that these people, perhaps in the Trump administration and political supporters of Trump, should be held basically accountable. But what that really is saying is that all the people, whether you like Trump or not, all the people that supported either him or some of his policies, she's kind of lumping them into the same category. So let's continue to listen.
I also want to echo something that my friend EJ said. It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them.
I mean, saying something like burn down the Republican Party, what does that mean? And what does that mean to be an enabler? It means that you have supported somebody, but it also means that in that context, that in what she's saying and how she's putting it, is that you enabled him to do bad things. And it's not necessarily really bad things. It's that he was enabled to do things that she doesn't agree with. So she's speaking about it in a negative context. And she's saying all those that enabled him, and I imagine she means those who were in the administration and those politicians who supported him, they have to be burnt down. They have to be shut up. They have to be stopped. And she's not the only one. I mean, if she was the only one that was saying this, then fine, I would say, oh, okay, well, she's just kind of off base on saying her own thing. But many others, including AOC from New York, the Congresswoman from New York, Ocasio-Cortez, also says something similar in terms of rounding up all of those people and going after them to punish them and to do things that are detrimental to them, being successful in life. And to me, this is not right. And if people aren't speaking up against this, then I would say that they are also enabling this woman to say these things and get away with it. So let's continue to listen.
Because if there are survivors, if there are people who weathered this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me, I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket, federal, state, local offices, the country has to repudiate this. This has become a dysfunctional anti-government party. That is not what the country wants and what it needs.
So, in other words, she's saying if people ride things out and say once all the votes have been certified and Biden wins the presidency, that these people will not be able to go on with their lives, but they need to be weeded out. They needed to be eliminated in some way. And she wasn't really clear about that, about what she means. Maybe she means, I'm hoping that she just means that, oh, they aren't able to get jobs. They aren't able to live their lives out past the administration, and that there is some retribution in terms of some of the things that they're able to do. So to me, that just doesn't sound right. That doesn't sit right with me. And I think more people need to speak out about it, because people were quick to say on the other side that, oh, he's speaking hate, Trump is speaking hate, and he's speaking this, and he's a racist, and all of this other stuff that they were claiming that they were putting on him, that he's a Russian agent and so forth and so on. But how come the shoe doesn't work on the other foot when other people on the other side say something that is reprehensible, that is hateful, that is vindictive and vengeful? Why aren't they being held to task? So I'm just wondering that. So let me just bring it home to a spiritual point. And the point is this: if you think that this is going to be something that ends with this, or ends with the Republican presidency, if you think that it's going to end there, then I think you might be fooling yourselves, because what I see happening next is the same kind of verbiage and the same kind of hateful dismissal of the Christian faith and the church. The church, as I've always said, is supposed to hold to biblical principles. That is our book. That is where we understand how we are supposed to live our lives, how we are supposed to get along with our neighbors, and how we are to get along with each other, and the good that we are supposed to do, and how God sees different things that we might come in contact with as human beings, as people of the book, as they say, as Christians. It's our guide to how we should live our lives. And so if something that is in the Bible, or something that Christians say is truth, or something that they adhere to, is against what is going on in our culture now, and there are any number of issues where the church is or should be opposed to, then we are also going to receive this type, and I would say even more, condemnation from those in the left and those who seek to control our lives and to minimize a different set of opinions or a different set of views. And it's already happened in the last 20 years where Christians have been, for lack of a better term, persecuted for what they believe, even in this country. And things that we believe and how we live and how we see things have always been taken out of context. And so I only see more of that happening. I only see more of a condemnation and harsh criticism and retaliation in some form or other for some of the things that Christians hold. And I'll just list one and then I'll close. Most Christians, and I think most traditional Bible-believing Christians, have an issue with abortion. Now, me included, I have an issue with it. I don't hate people that have had an abortion, because I understand that all of us have fallen short of God's glory. All of us had made mistakes. All of us have sinned. But at the same time, I should be able to say that I am against it. I do not agree with the premise of it. And I don't hate anybody. I should be able to say that without feeling that there needs to be some kind of retaliation or some kind of condemnation based on my view. And these are the kind of things that I think are going to affect Christians coming up in the next few years. I do not see it getting better. I do not see an easing or a smoothing out of this kind of behavior and this kind of rhetoric. However, I do see it growing. I do see it becoming more and more common in our society to persecute Christians, whether physically, mentally, or otherwise. And that is something we should all be concerned about. That is something that we should be worried about. We are promised, according to the Constitution, to have a free expression of ideas, and that there should be a separation between church and state. Now, this separation is not to completely separate and say, oh, you can't be in politics if you're a Christian. No, it was never designed to that. It was designed so that the state could not institute a national church, or the state could not unduly influence the church in any kind of way. It wasn't set for the other way around, that people in government cannot have any kind of a religious belief or religious conviction. So they have it backwards. But yet, if you listen to most people, they'll think that, oh, there should be a complete separation between the church and state, meaning that you can't be a Christian and be in politics. So it's totally mixed up what we are seeing today, and we should not stand for that. I'm hoping and I'm praying that many people will start to see this and come to realize that we are living in a very dangerous and precarious time in our country. And we need to wake up. We need to understand what is going on. We need to research. We need to read. We need to be aware of what's going on so that it doesn't come over us, so that we're not being fooled, so they're not running one on us. And then we need to do what we need to do, whether it's stand and fight and pray and elect those leaders who hold our position as much as possible. We are to do everything that we can. And then after we've done everything we can, then we can say with confidence that God's will be done. Anyway, thank you for listening. Please subscribe. We certainly do appreciate you, those who listen. And we appreciate those who leave comments. We like every single comment, and we try to respond to every comment. So subscribe, give us a thumbs up on the video if you like the content. Help keep us going and keeps us encouraged. So God bless you. I'll see you next time.